Weight Watchers now offers access to affordable GLP-1s. It works for members like...
I'm Haley, and I've lost 100 pounds. Weight Watchers has everything I need, from weight loss medications to nutrition support and help with my side effects. It's all in one place.
Weight Watchers handles the insurance for you and offers affordable cash pay options. With our program, our members are losing more weight with expert nutrition and side effect support.
I'm Mike, and I've lost 135 pounds. Weight Watchers prescribing GLP-1 medications. It's been life-changing.
I'm Sharia, and I lost 80 pounds on Weight Watchers. I realized that it would take more than a prescription to lose weight and feel good on a GLP-1.
Better results, expert support, lose more weight, make it last.
I can't imagine doing a GLP-1 without Weight Watchers.
Get started for as low as $25 at weightwatchers.com/GLP-1.
Medications require eligibility and prescription. Patients on 15 milligrams of Trizepatide had an average of 21% weight loss in a 72-week clinical trial when paired with diet and exercise. First month as low as $25 with a 12-month Med Plus plan. Does not include the cost of GLP-1 medications.
I used to just go with whatever meat looked good or was on sale at the grocery store. But now that I've experienced the exceptional quality, flavor, and convenience that you can get from Omaha Steaks, I'm never going back. They can build a custom food plan based on your schedule, which means less food waste and stocking up on high-quality proteins to always have on hand. With Omaha Steaks in your freezer, you're always just minutes away from a quality dinner. Whether it's Taco Tuesday or a weekend feast. Taste the Omaha Steaks difference and never settle for grocery proteins again. Get flavorful, high-quality proteins delivered by visiting omahasteaks.com. Plus $35 off when you use promo code YUM at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, code YUM. Terms apply. See site for details. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code YUM at checkout for $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply.
Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast, a Discord Dog Pack Live episode. The first one I've been a part of in a while. Honestly, the first show I've been a part of in a couple weeks. I've been MIA, brought a new child into the world while my wife did. So I haven't showered. I haven't slept. I haven't paid any attention to what's going on. I'm just essentially like a walking piece of shit. But here we are. We're going to do an episode for you guys, and I'm going to give you all of my best takes on my limited knowledge. So I'm going to actually, that's why we're going this Discord live, so you guys can drag me through this episode. Before we get to everybody who's here in the chat who's going to help us through this episode, though, remember, if you want to get thoughts on the show, head to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Make sure you tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content we're putting out. You can listen to the show on Apple and Spotify. And if you want more content, head to jointhedogs.com. Get to be a part of these Dog Pack Discord shows. You get your thoughts on the show. You get to talk to us 24/7. There's people in here talking Browns and sports and anything else you can think of 24/7. So if you just want a whole bunch of cool people to hang out with, you want to play fantasy football with a bunch of these guys and Browns fans from all over the world, head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. That's my first intro in a while. Hopefully I didn't forget anything.
It was better than your last one.
Yeah, this is true. That was also, I've been doing episodes sparingly like the last 3 to 4 weeks, so I'm out of practice. It'll be like riding a bike, though. I'll get back into it. So I guess let's just go ahead and get right into it. I guess we have a comment here right at first, and I can speak on this. It says, Love at 6 and wide receiver at 24. So I'm already throwing an audible here because we were going to talk about the mocks that dropped yesterday. Here's my only thought on the Love at 6 thing. First of all, I see no world in which the Browns draft a running back in the top 10 a year after they drafted 2 running backs. I would say there's almost a 0% chance that happens. Second of all, I just don't think you spend a top 10 pick on a running back when you just used 2 draft picks last year to pick a running back. Like, you're going to spend a top 10 pick on a guy who's going to split touches because you're not going to completely phase out Quinshon Judkins. And if you bring in Love and then he's going to split carries with Judkins, you're basically throwing away the Sampson pick. There's only so many carries to go around the game. I just don't think you're going to spend a top 10 pick on a guy who's only going to get half the touches out of the backfield. To me, running back is just the furthest thing from need. I understand he's like a great player, maybe the best offensive player in the draft. Just, to me, it doesn't make sense for the Browns. It's just doesn't help the offense in the way that it needs help. We need receivers. I don't want a running back who can play receiver, who's a good pass catching running back. I want a wide receiver who plays the position and can take the top off the defense and is a game changer at the wide receiver position. So that's kind of where I stand on that. And then my only fear, if you wait to pick a receiver at 24, some of the stuff I am hearing, between being like sleep deprived and being in a hospital for 3 days and stuff, there's going to be a run of wide receivers. Who knows if any of these top 4 or 5 guys are going to be there at 24. I'm hearing things from people like they think there's going to be 6 receivers taken in the first round. They might all be gone before we pick at 24. So I just don't know if you can risk that. To me, it's like it's a Carnell Tate no matter what at this point. I'm like Sonny Weaver Jr. with Vontae Mack. Mm-hmm. Just turn it in. It doesn't matter. Just turn it in.
Nope, I agree with you there because it was Peter Schrager, and Peter Schrager, I don't know. I mean, some people like him, some people don't, whatever, but he's very plugged in to the teams, the sources around the league, and he only puts out 2 mocks every season. And the first one was this week, and then the last one will be next week. And he puts that together based on everything that he has gathered, information, what he's been hearing. And he came out after that first mock and said, I got a lot of feedback from team sources and league sources. Throw it out the window. He said, I think there's going to be 6 receivers, like you said, gone before the Browns pick at 24. So that would be all of them. All the top guys that everybody's looking at. You've got Tate, obviously, Lemon, Tyson gone, Omar Cooper Jr., Concepcion, and Boston. In his mind, would all be gone before you get to 24. So what does that leave you with? Now you're just out of the potential wide receiver 1 market altogether, in my opinion.
And it's one of those things where, like, if Carnell Tate's there at 6, so it's one of those things. I've heard some people is that they don't like his athletic testing. It wasn't. Personally, just watch him play football. You know what I mean? Like, how many times do the athletic freak guys, the t-shirt and shorts warriors, they bust because they don't know how to play the position? They're track guys playing wide receiver, and in college you could get away with that. In the NFL, you can't. I think if you have a guy like Carnell Tate, who's been a consensus top 10 pick since the beginning of college football season last year, basically, and he's never fallen out of there, and you take him and he busts, that's a much easier pill to swallow than if you don't take him and he goes off for another team and then the guy you took did nothing. Which, correct. I don't know if any of you new Browns fans out there, is basically a history of our team. Like Julio Jones, for example. We get this great haul for him. He goes on to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Browns picked all these players with those picks they got for him. I don't even know. Half of them didn't make the team. We just gave them away for free, essentially. So I'm just tired of watching the Browns pass on guys who are considered like as surefire as it gets. Obviously, nothing's perfect in the NFL draft, but we just pass on them. We outsmart ourselves, outthink it. We overanalyze it. And then they go on to have Hall of Fame careers on other teams. And then the guys we picked instead with our great haul, if we say we draft down, they do nothing. It's just like, just start picking the best guys. And if you pick Carnell Tate at 6 and he ends up not being good, I can almost guarantee you all of Browns fandom is going to be you'll be forgiven for that draft pick. It's a lot easier to forgive being the consensus top 10 pick, and then he just doesn't work out, and then trying to outsmart yourself, and then he's playing well on another team, and you're sitting there going, why didn't we take that guy? We've done it with quarterback in like basically my entire life. I'm tired of taking project receivers and project quarterbacks. Browns fans have this, they're so afraid to take quarterbacks in the first round because we hardly ever take quarterbacks in the first round. We're constantly trying to turn 3rd and 4th round quarterbacks into franchise quarterbacks. That's the problem. We're doing the same thing with wide receivers. We haven't picked one in the first round since Corey Coleman. We're constantly trying to turn 3rd and 4th round wide receivers into franchise guys. Yeah. Start picking these positions at the top of the draft where all the best players are.
Yep. And the arguments against taking Carnell Tate that I see from other Browns, like content creators and people on social media, kind of crack me up because, like, one thing they'll say, well, the last receiver we took in the first round was Corey Coleman, so we should go lineman. I'm like, the last lineman we took in the first round was Jed Wills. So Like the track record's not great either way. And they're both positions that Andrew Berry struggles with anyhow. And then I think there are definitely some people out there that just don't like Ohio State. They hate the school, they hate the team, they hate the fans, they hate Ohio State fans. They think we're annoying and all this kind of stuff, and we're homers and all that. So they're like, oh, Carnell Tate sucks because I hate Ohio State fans. Well, it turns out he is pretty much the consensus number one receiver in this draft among all the analysts. There's some people that'll say, well, Jordan Tyson would be the top receiver if it weren't for the injury stuff and if he were a little more this or a little more that. I don't care about the ifs. Those are ifs and nuts, like Blake likes to say. Give me Carnell Tate at 6. Get a receiver that can win all over the field, but his specialty is what Shedeur Sanders does well. Win down the field, contested catches, beating guys deep. He's going to make those plays, and he's not going to drop the ball. That is the biggest thing for me, is his ceiling to me is high. I don't know exactly how high I would like project it out to be, but I think that there is a ceiling for him that if he really does hit, could be a very high level wide receiver in this league, not just on whatever team he goes to.
And the knock I always hear about him, which just drives me nuts, is
I know what you're going to say.
He's never the number one wide receiver on his team, which is like, so we're going to punish a guy for going to wide receiver U. You know, it's his fault that he had he's playing next to Jeremiah Smith. Like that's just, I mean, come on. Jackson Smith and Jigba was wide receiver 3 for the Buckeyes.
Yep.
Emeka Egbuka was never wide receiver 1 not even close to wide receiver 1 for the Buckeyes. Like, you have to stop with that narrative. If that was the case, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase shouldn't have both been top, like first round draft picks in their draft, because one of them wasn't the number 1 for LSU. He wasn't even the number 1 team on his number 1 receiver on his college team. How could you take him in the first round of the NFL draft? It's such a stupid argument. It's such a stupid argument.
Yeah, I hate it. And so we were talking in the Discord the other day, and I know, Adam, you got your hand up. We'll bring some of you guys up before we dive into these mock drafts from the other day. But we were talking about these smoke screens that have been going out and how there's been smoke about Caden Proctor at 6. There has been smoke about Spencer Fano and some of these other players. And it's been a lot of positive stuff about those tackles. And then I said the only negative smoke we've really heard the last couple of weeks is that the Browns aren't in love with Carnell Tate's testing. And I'm thinking, are they trying to like make sure that he's there at 6 or something, that a team doesn't trade up to 5 with the Giants to try to get him, like the Saints or the Commanders, somebody else who wants a receiver, and maybe Carnell Tate is actually their guy? I'm prepared to be disappointed on Thursday next week. So, but that does give me a little bit of hope that the only thing that's kind of been put out there negative about any prospect has been Tate, and maybe they're trying to throw people off the scent. I have no idea, but maybe I'm grasping.
If Tate's not there at 6, that's where I'm like, because I don't want the Browns to move up to take him.
No,
I feel like that would take too. You're not going to move up into the top 5. That would take too much. And then if he's not there, like, even though I know we need a wide receiver, do I love any of the rest of them enough to take them at 6, or then do I start entertaining some of these like drop back trades with like Dallas, and can I still get one of those top guys at 12? And be able to pick up another pick, and I start entertaining that. But if Tate's there at 6, I'm just picking him. I'm just turning in the card and picking him.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I saw this, I forget who said it here in the chat. What do you do if Tate's not there at 6? Like you said, that's when I'm really entertaining the trade down with Dallas and just gearing up to take one of the tackles. Like it would probably be Fano, Freeling. I'm just not big on Proctor, man. Maybe Lomu. Like either way. There will be a tackle available at 12, so I would just be going that route. Unless they're really high on a guy like Mekhi Lemon, they want to trade back to 12 and take him. Like, just get guys for this offense. If they walk up there and take a defensive player, I don't know, man. It's going to be a crash out on the show.
I just don't see any world in which you can pick a defensive player in this.
Said that last year, though.
In the first round. I know. I guess we didn't know that there was essentially like a 2-year rebuild plan. I think that if last year was clearly to like rebuild up and add defensive pieces, and I think overall it wasn't considered a great offensive draft last year. I mean, one of the great offensive players last year is now a full-time defensive player. So, you know what I mean? So
true, but there were some tackles we could have taken at 5. The guy from New Orleans, the Membu, whatever his name is for the Jets, Ted McMillan. I mean,
a couple first round picks for those guys, though.
What's that?
Did you trade, Mason or Judkins or Carson for one of those guys? I don't know if I would. I think like last year's draft was pretty much a home run. So knowing it's a 2-year plan, if last year was to go get some defensive guys, then this year it's got to be all offense. What would we be doing? What's the point? So we can keep losing games 17-14 or 17-10?
Yeah.
Like, why?
I don't know. But do you want to get, let's see, Adam's got his hand up. Let's bring him up and then we'll talk to Adam and then we'll kind of go through a couple of these mock drafts that came out the other day. Adam, what's going on, man?
Boys, what's going on?
What's up?
Hey, Blake, first and foremost, man, congrats. Glad to see your face back on the show, bud. I can empathize with the daughter situation. My youngest is a girl, and her name's Stella, but her nickname is Saddam. She runs the house, man. She runs the house. But yeah, man. So I'll be honest with you, boys. First and foremost, hey, thanks for having the show. I had reconstructive shoulder surgery on Monday, so I've been sitting on the couch for the next 30 days. So this is an awesome situation, waking up in El Paso and seeing a Discord live. But when it comes to the draft and everything, week before the draft, anxiety is at an all-time high because usually I don't pay too much attention to reports or anything like that, but the week before the draft, you kind of start tuning in and listening a little bit more, especially to those certain people who do mocks and has the inside ear to NFL execs and all that. And I love Jeremiah Love. I think that he's an awesome player and he's probably going to be great for somebody. But I'm with Blake on it. It's one of those things where, we invested 2 draft picks in the backfield last year, and I'm happy with both of them. I'd really like to see Samson actually utilized and what he can actually bring to the table, because I don't think we maybe got a glimpse last year, but I'd like to see him actually used. I think the only way that mentally I'm going into this draft is if Carnell Tate is not there at 6, then you know what? Like, we didn't get the opportunity to screw that up. And I know everybody, turn in the card, Carnell Tate at 6, and I'm with you. Like, Cooper's already ready to order the jersey. So I'm with it, man. I think we need Carnell Tate. It's crazy to me watching a lot of these mock drafts because a lot of people mock Cleveland to take, offensive line at 6. Everyone is usually going with Malinois at the left tackle position. And I guess the biggest thing that gets my mind going with that is like these people that are doing these mocks that, have the ears of the NFL execs and all that, sometimes say those things. I'm like, the offensive line is something that we have specifically addressed this offseason with free agent signings. We have yet to sign anyone into our wide receiver room or address anything about it. So to me, it's obvious 2 + 2 is 4 that we're going to draft a wide receiver first. And we're going to address a position group that we know it's the weakest in the NFL, and we haven't done anything to make it better.
This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. All right, Browns fans, we've all messed around with the sports books before, right? And let's be honest, you're always kind of playing against the house. But with Kalshi, it's different. You're not betting against some sports book. You're trading against other real-world people. There's no house trying to beat you. Kalshi just runs the marketplace. So if you think the public is wrong, like everybody's overreacting to these smoke screens in the draft or sleeping on a prospect, you can literally take the other side of the market. And it's not just sports either. You can trade on other real-world stuff interest rates, inflation, even wild weather outcomes. It works like this: simple yes or no markets, your risk is capped up front, and your payout is locked in. So if you trust your takes and instincts, and I know you guys do, go check out Kalshi and see what markets are live right now. So head over to kalshi.com/dogs, KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS. Deposit just $20 and Kalshi's going to match you. They're going to put $20 free into your account. That's a great deal to get started. So again, kalshi.com/dogs, $20 match when you deposit $20 into your account.
If you felt stuck trying to lose weight, you're not alone. Enter Weight Loss by Hers. It's designed to support you in reaching your goals. And Hers now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hers, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite, eat less, and keep weight off. Plus, Wegovy is the first GLP-1 available in a pill, so there are no needles needed. Everything is 100% online through Hers. You'll connect with a licensed provider who will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. And it doesn't stop there. Weight Loss by Hers goes beyond medication by offering access to 24/7 messaging with your care team and tons of in-app lifestyle and nutrition tips like recipes, meal plans, fitness videos, sleep content, and more. Even better, with a range of affordable GLP-1 options, Hers makes it simple to find an approach that fits your needs and your budget if eligible. You'll get a treatment plan personalized to you and unlimited dosage changes as needed. It's weight loss designed to work with your life. Ready to reach your goals? Visit forhers.com/women to get personalized, affordable care that gets you. That's forhers.com/women. forhers.com/women. Weight Loss by Hers is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A.S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit forhers.com. The new Wegovy pill is now available through Weight Watchers. Powerful GLP-1 results in a simple pill at the lowest price available. And with Weight Watchers, you can get doctor support and personalized nutrition programs. See if you qualify at weightwatchers.com. Ad not reviewed or approved by Novo Nordisk.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
But then all the speculation, right? Kind of like you guys were talking about. It's amazing to me how the value of a player changes through the whole offseason. We go from college football to the NFL draft, and zeros go to heroes or heroes go to zeros, and no football was played in that amount of time.
Yep.
And, we have these strong opinions of people when they're lining up on the field every Saturday and we're watching their whole college career, and then the only thing that has occurred is a combine, and magically these different narratives. And we saw it last year. We saw last year with Shador, and so maybe could be to our benefit, but I just hope that Tate is there, because I'll be honest with you, man, like, I think Tyson is an amazing wide receiver to look at, and he's got these attributes that I just sit there. I don't know. He does those athletic things that you saw like Odell Beckham Jr. have like in his profile when he was coming out and stuff like that. But the thing about those real athletic guys, they get themselves in certain positions, especially when you're lining up on an NFL field where everybody in the defensive backfield's running 4.4s, 4.3s, and weighing around 200 pounds. I don't see that. I feel the same way about him as I felt about Travis Hunter last year. And that's, I look at these guys and I go, I don't know how they can physically stand up to the test of the NFL. And that's the thing about Tyson. I don't see, I know that, the injury thing is something that everybody's knocking on him, but like the way he plays the game of football, I don't see him remaining healthy playing. And when we when we did the trade for Travis Hunter last year, I was through the roof about it, because when I saw 5'10", 180 pounds, I went, okay, man, like that's a good demographic for a kicker. It's just you don't see a lot of boys that step on the scale and have that little ass on them, make it in the NFL and survive the physical toll that's put on them. Where when I look at Carnell Tate, I see a grown ass man that he can take hits. He's shown that, in the shoe. And I mean, like you guys have said, we have to go back in the books quite a ways to name a Ohio State wide receiver that has come into the league and not been, a high contributor to the offense they're a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's a slam dunk. I hope all the other teams just snooze on it. I'm with you guys. If Carnell Tate's not there at 6, I'm at that point, like, go ahead, Barry, and do your little drug deals and get more draft picks. Like, I'm cool with that, man. What I get really scared is when the clock hits and we're on the 6th pick and Carnell Tate is there and we're like, okay, just do it. And then Andrew Barry's like, you know what? I'm going to get cute and I'm going to try to do some improbable thing and talk myself out of this pick, because I'm convinced that if I get 2 more picks or something like that, that's going to be productive for this team.
Yeah, I can turn those into hits or whatever.
So that's what I get more nervous about, sitting there at 6 and Carnell Tate's there and Andrew Barry has the ball in his hand with 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah.
Like that is the scariest circumstance to me. And so it's if I can't have Tate, I just hope he's gone by pick 6, because I don't know if I could deal with the heartbreak. And as much as Andrew Barry surprised us last year, man, I really don't. I can't see him repeat performing on us, because I don't think there's that much hidden talent in this draft. Or maybe I'm totally wrong, but
the thing that scares me the most too is our 2 biggest positions of needs are the 2 biggest positions that he's routinely failed at being able to address: wide receiver and tackle. And the other one would be interior defensive line, which he did better in free agency and with Mason last year. But up until then, drafting interior defensive linemen every single year, none of them were hitting. So it does scare me a little bit that it's like his 2 bugaboos are the 2 things that we need to hit on in this draft to be competitive this season. So, especially if Tate's gone and then he has to start thinking. To me, Tate's such a no-brainer. If he's gone and he has to start thinking, what's he going to do then? That also scares me.
And there's also a little bit of the mindset of, well, I could trade back a little bit, recoup some picks, and still get the guy I want. But if they do that, to me, that indicates it's not Tate, because there's 0% chance in my mind that Tate makes it anywhere outside the top 10, because as soon as you get past us at 6, you've got the Commanders sitting there at 7. They've been heavily invested in Carnell Tate this offseason. So if he's there, I think they take him. Or the Saints, or the Chiefs. And then you got the Dolphins at 11 who desperately need a wide receiver. So he's gone. If you go back to 12, you are saying, I don't want Carnell Tate, I'll take somebody else.
So I think there's a chance, based on these team needs, are we going to see 3 receivers taken in the top 12?
It wouldn't surprise me, man. And that's kind of goes to what Peter Schrager was alluding to.
Because, I mean, the Jets could use one.
Yes.
Cardinals could use one. The Titans could definitely use one. But the Giants don't necessarily need one, but I think there's talk about pairing a top-level guy with Malik Neighbors out there. We need one. The Commanders, Saints, and Chiefs all need one. The Dolphins need... I mean, there's a chance... 4 of the first 12 picks are wide receivers?
There's a chance. There's absolutely a chance, especially with the depth on defense in this first round. You could see some of those offensive players get pushed up the board because teams are thinking, well, I can wait on the defense because it's so deep at, edge rusher this draft and cornerback and safety and linebacker. I mean, you could grab one of these top guys in the top 10. Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs. I mean, those are great players. Don't get me wrong. They're the best players in this draft. But the depth at those positions, this draft is great for those spots.
I think that the one positive indication that I saw about where we're going. I don't know why his name is slipping my mind, but the left tackle that we have that keeps getting hurt.
DeJuan Jones.
Guy.
DeJuan Jones.
So DeJuan Jones was on a podcast, I want to say like this last week or something. I saw an interview and he was talking about, meeting the head coach and all that. And it seemed to give like indications of like positive, communication. And so the only like hope I have in my heart, and like, it's one of those things, man, where I agree with the podcast. Like, I agreed with you guys last year when, this wonderful marriage started, and I was listening to you guys for the first time, and we were like, hey, like, we can't go into the season and depend on DeJuan Jones to start at tackle. Like, that's not realistic. But based off this podcast that he had, DeJuan Jones is giving the indications like maybe that coach is investing. Maybe that coach does believe in this kid. And if DeJuan Jones starting at left tackle is the forcing function that the Cleveland Browns need to draft Carnell Tate, then I'm good with it. That I guess, you gotta do a deal somewhere. And that's the only indication of everything that I've been watching over the last week where I'm like, okay, maybe we are going wide receiver, because maybe it's just we've been active with filling the offensive line, but I think everyone can agree that like a right-handed quarterback, the most critical position on that offensive line is the left tackle. And it's the one thing that we haven't really addressed. But then you have this 6'9", 340-pound man sitting there in Berea working out.
I did
so
see. I saw a thing that they said Andrew Berry. I didn't see where he actually said this quote, but they were saying he did say that Titus Howard could move over and play left tackle if needed. So he's not necessarily locked into the right side. And I think there's going to be some good tackle prospects available at 24. Even if there's a run on tackles in the teens, and then you're sitting there, it's like, well, we want to get a tackle, and you got Blake Miller and Max Ihenacho, like those are some good tackle prospects too. I don't think the gap between the top tackles and those guys is all that big. That's why I'm not big on trying to force a tackle at 6.
I completely agree with you, man. And that's the one thing that, kind of makes me nervous is when the Browns start trying to force something to happen. I think that if there was a left tackle in this draft, there's a Joe Thomas Jr. Based off what we're seeing, there doesn't seem to be that guy. But, there is some pretty, what I feel will be dominant wide receivers for the next 10 to 15 years in this league, in this draft. And I just hope that one of them's wearing a Cleveland Browns uniform to suit up on Sunday.
Amen to that, man. Well, we're going to get Brad up here next. Adam, thank you. Appreciate hearing from you. Was there anything else before you go?
No, boys, I'm just here to chit chat, man. Thanks so much. And I'll be sitting here listening, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Thank
Brad,
you.
We'll get you up here next.
Oh,
there we go.
What is up, guys?
How you doing?
I'm building a stadium for y'all.
Well, I appreciate it.
It's going to be really expensive, by the way.
No, really. I hadn't heard.
Yeah.
It's not my money.
Hey, Blake, do you want me to make any more reviews for you? Because, I'm really good at them.
Yeah. Yeah, just don't get me fired.
So what's going on, Brad?
Thank you. I have a question for you guys. Do you remember the crash out last year?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't think that crash out's going to happen this year.
Okay.
What do you think's going to happen?
I think, personally, Barry's going to stay at 6, and he's going to take what he views as the best available player at 6.
And who's that?
Who do you think that is?
So, here's my thing. If Tate is there at 6, I feel like he's just going to rip him right off the board and take him.
Okay.
If Tate is not there, he's going to take his best tackle.
And who do you think that is?
Whatever that might be. I mean, whatever he views as the best tackle in the draft, he's going to take it.
Well,
now, if it's Caden Proctor, I mean, we can crash out a little bit, but it is a tackle. So, I mean, be that as it may, do I think he needs to be picked at 6? Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, you know, if he views him as the best tackle in the draft from his people and his viewpoint, then that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, Caden Proctor and it's interesting. We'll get into these mock drafts that came out the other day. You had Todd McShay, Mel Kiper Jr., and Dane Bruler, and all three of them had the Browns trading back with the Cowboys going to 12 and taking a tackle. McShay and Kiper both had us taking Caden Proctor, which the upside with Caden Proctor is there. I'm not going to say it's not. I mean, the dude is massive. He's 6'7", 355 pounds. The problem with the weight is the fluctuation. Played at, what was it, 390 or 380, something like that. Fluctuated between that. Now he's down around 350, wants to try to maintain that. There's questions about whether or not he can or it will be able to. He's got some inconsistent tape for being, and I was doing the Jake Burns Browns film breakdown. They're like, for a 40, a career 40 starts in college football at Alabama, like the tape should look better at this point, later in his career. And the inconsistency is just worrisome.
I don't want to draft a guy. Like if we're picking somebody in the top 10, his tape should be great.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be talking about inconsistencies, raw, needs developed, could be great, high ceiling. These are all words for bust. Okay. I want pick the guy who just consistently put great tape out there. A guy with Carson Schlesinger like tape. Okay. You turned on the tape of Carson, and I know he wasn't a first round pick or a top 10 pick, but you turned on the tape for Carson and you were like, holy crap, this guy is great at football. It's everywhere. His highlight tape was just one game, and then he had 15 other games just like that. I don't want to pick a guy who's like, well, our NFL coaches should be able to get him to do this or get him to do that or be able to properly motivate. You mean to tell me the chance to be a first round draft pick isn't proper motivation enough to keep your weight in check and to put good tape out there? Right. Like if you didn't have the motivation before you had, $10 million guaranteed signing bonus, whatever, it's Jed Wills all over again. What is your motivation going to be once you see all the zeros in your bank account? Because I just that's something I'm not touching.
I do have a interesting trade scenario for you guys.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with the first round whatsoever. And I'm not saying something couldn't happen in the first round. It could. I'm talking about the second round. Barry has been one to trade up into the second and third round before. Not a lot, but he's done it before.
Once.
Was it once? Oh, I thought it was twice.
Just JOK.
Okay. Anyways, I'm thinking we could trade number 70 and 102 to trade back into the second round and pick the best available safety or corner towards the end of the second round.
Okay. I wouldn't hate that. I think that there's going to be some really good players in that range that would be worth coming up and getting. The second round this year is interesting to me. Like putting together mock drafts, I always struggle when I get to that point because I'm like, man, I like this guy, I like this guy, I like this guy. There's so many guys in the second round that I think could be very good starting level players for the Browns. It's really hard to pick just one when you're sitting there at 39.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pick okay, so you get a wide receiver and that's not in the first round. You're sitting at 39. Okay, do we take another tackle? Do we take best available safety corner at that position? Kind of hard.
Yeah. All right, Brad, hit us with one more question or pointer, and then we're going to get Stacy up here.
Okay, is there a player you think that Andrew Berry during the draft would trade one of our first round picks for anywhere in the NFL that we could get that you see value in?
I could see him trading like that late first round draft pick for like Brian Thomas Jr. or something like that, like one of those wide receivers. I could see, especially if we don't take one at 6, say Tate's gone and they end up not doing, I could see them making a trade for one of these veteran, I guess, already established NFL wide receivers.
Yeah, I could see that too. And it depends too, because if there is that run, like you just said, if we don't go receiver at 6 and all those guys go off the board before we get onto the board at 24, then I think that pick does become open for business for a wide receiver.
This episode is sponsored by Butcher Box for Pets. Browns fans, Butcher Box for Pets has a deal you cannot pass up for your 4-legged family members. Right now, you get 50% off your first subscription order of the premium slow-cooked nutrition dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Just go to butcherboxforpets.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DOGS when you check out. It can get confusing because we're the dogs, we love our fellow dogs, our dog pack members, and the Dog Pound faithful. But let's not kid ourselves. The most important dogs in our lives are, well, our dogs. And they're not just pets, like I said, they're part of the family. So the question is, what are you actually feeding them? At ButcherBox, they believe in real ingredients. Their pet foods have been developed and certified by vet nutritionists to contain 0 artificial flavors or preservatives. I know our house wouldn't be the same without Odie, our 100-pound golden retriever who thinks he's a 10-pound lap dog. Absolute dumbest dog in the world, but we love him like crazy. And it gives us peace of mind knowing that we're giving him quality food instead of those factory processed blocks from the store. And speaking of the store, no need to add dog food to your shopping list ever again. ButcherBox delivers their high-quality food right to your door. Just choose the delivery schedule that you need for your dog, and you can change, modify, pause, or cancel your plan at any time. So try it out today. Your dog will love you for upgrading their meal times. ButcherBoxForPets.com/dogs and use promo code DOGS, DAWGS, to get 50% off. That's right, half off your first subscription order of the premium slow-cooked nutrition fresh dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Minimum purchase of just $34. 50% discount applies to subscription orders only. 1 use per customer, and you can cancel at any time. ButcherBoxForPets.com/dogs.
Could it be Marvin Harrison Jr.? I doubt it, but that would be fun. Stacy, what's up?
Morning, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Good.
So I just wanted to talk about the draft, obviously, and my opinion on it. But obviously, I'm on board with everyone at 6. I feel like it's a no-brainer. We have to take Tate if he's on the board. But the more I've been thinking about it, the more I kind of feel like at 6, if Tate is gone, I don't hate the idea of taking Mekhi Lemon. And the reason is because I just feel if we were to trade back to 12 with Dallas, I feel like the Commanders, the Saints, and even the Dolphins, and maybe even the Chiefs, those teams right there, I just feel like there's no way that Mekhi Lemon makes it through that those amount of teams, and then he gets to us at 12. And I do feel like, in my opinion, Mekhi Lemon is the number 2 receiver past Tate. So I just feel like we are at such need of a wide receiver that I would be okay with taking him at 6. But then when it comes to a trade back at 12, if we were to trade back at 12, like I said, I don't think Mekhi Lemon would be available. And I just don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Jordan Tyson. I just feel like I keep thinking back to when Blake said, if someone has like stubbed their toe, then they're going to come here and it's going to be like a foot amputation or something crazy. So, because it's true, I just feel like, I don't know if it's like our sports staff, because even like the Cavs, like they have issues with injuries constantly. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is, the water in Cleveland, but everybody just seems to get hurt. And I just don't think that when we're taking a receiver in the first round, that should be our number 1 receiver, regardless of who it might be. And I just feel like taking Tyson is such a risk. So at 6, like I said, I would take Mekhi Lemon, I would take Tate. And then if we were to trade back to 12, because I just feel like that's the only team I really see us being able to trade back with. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe when draft day comes, we'll be surprised and we'll get some crazy deal with another team. But as of right now, it just seems like the Cowboys are the team that everyone's linking us to. So at 12, I would say, I don't know. I was also high on Monroe Freeling for a long time. And again, as time has gone on, I just feel like he's one of those players that's like getting hyped up. Like, and I don't know why exactly, because I think at one point he was mocked to be at like a pick 70 or something crazy.
Athletic testing, it goes to what Blake was saying about Proctor.
Yeah. And then like we were saying, like nothing's happened. And from now till then, like no football's been played. It's just been the testing, the combine and stuff like that. So I just don't know if it's the media hyping him up, like all these people just saying he's really, really good. And I just don't want to be the people that pick the player that's getting hyped up. Because again, I just don't think it's going to work out in our favor. So I personally really like, as far as tackles go, I do really like Caleb Lomu. I think that he's played a lot of games, and I think that he has enough experience that I would feel comfortable taking him. Now, I don't know if I would be comfortable taking him at 12. I know they talk about the scenario of like us getting 12 and 20 from Dallas. I don't know how that would happen unless maybe we give up the second round pick that we have, and then that would be kind of cool to have a couple first round picks. So maybe I would take him at 20. But at 12, I don't know. I just feel like trading back to 12 is so scary to me because, one, I hate trading back. And two, I just don't know what the talent is going to be there at that time.
No, you're right. Because like last year, the trade back was 2 to 5. It was 3 spots and you were still in the top 5. It's a different story, 6 to 12. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like that big of a difference numbers wise, but it is, especially in this draft class. And I did a podcast the other night, just came out today with Brian Bosarge from draftcountdown.com. And he said the play for the Browns at 6 is Tate. That's in his opinion. That's what he said. And then he said at 24, go get Caleb Lomu from Utah because Caleb Lomu is Brian's number 1 tackle in this draft. He said so.
I would have to say I think he's mine too.
Oh, I do. I think he's going to be a good player.
Yeah, I just don't know. The talent this year, it just doesn't seem like it's that good. I don't know. I think there's a lot of like experimental players, a lot of players that you could have high ceilings or could crash and burn. So I don't know. I just think at 6, if you were given that pick, just stay with it and take the best available player. I mean, and when I say that, for me, I don't mean defense. I'm sorry, I don't. I mean best available offensive player.
Yeah,
whoever that might be.
I think Andrew Berry taking the obvious receiver at 6 is a big deal because when you see him left to his own devices later in the draft, even if it's later in the first round, when there's other options on the board or a lot of guys are already off the board, that's when it gets pretty hairy for him picking that position.
Yeah, and also I think I take it back when I say best offensive player available. I think I solely mean best wide receiver available because I'm just so over us not having a wide receiver. And then as far as the Brian Thomas and maybe even Marvin Harrison trade at like 24, I would give up that pick in a heartbeat. 24, goodbye. See you later. If we can get one of those 2 players, I would give that up in 2 seconds. And while I'm at it, I'm going to send you Cedric Tillman too, because I'm just tired of seeing that guy in a Browns uniform. I don't know why. He just drives me nuts. Like the constant injuries, and
it's because the potential's there.
Twice a game.
Yeah, you see him like make plays and he'll have a couple big games here and there. And it's like this dude can actually be a good receiver, but then there's no consistency. It never happens again, or it's 3 months until you see him do anything special again, and it's just frustrating.
Yeah, he just gives DPJ vibes, I feel.
DPJ was way better.
Yeah, even
more
that, he's way better.
I'm with you with the Mekhi Lemon thing at 6. Like, if Tate's not there, would I listen to offers for 6? I would probably listen. They'd have to like really wow me. Like this, we're going to talk about these mocks. The trade that McShay came up with to me is just, why would the Browns ever do that? But I would also, Mekhi Lemon to me is the second best receiver. He's like an Amon-Ra St. Brown kind of guy. Just take that guy then. It's like I'm with you, Stacey. I'm just tired of watching the Browns have nobody to throw to other than a running back or tight end. I need a wide receiver who can catch the ball and can make plays and can threaten a defense downfield. So just take the best wide receiver. We don't need a defensive player. We don't need a running back. I'm at the point I would take 2 wide receivers.
Oh,
I would
sure.
take
Sure.
the best one that's there at 6 and hope there's another one of the top guys. Somehow there's still one there at 24. I would take them both and then go with that offensive line with our first pick in the second round. That would be my strategy. I'd be taking 2.
And then maybe get like a Blake Miller in the second round. Like I do like him, and I think he's a decent tackle. He's okay. But yeah, no, I'm 100% with that, with 2 wide receivers. I just feel like when teams play us, like it's just so easy to play us because what do? You literally blitz the quarterback because he has nobody to throw to, or you stack up the line because we're going to run the ball. Like it's the easiest game plan on defense. Defenses are probably salivating when they come to play us because it's just eat up, boys, pretty much.
For sure. I mean, they're like, who's their, one of their top outside receivers? Gage Larva. Who? Okay, well, we don't have to worry about this.
No, exactly.
So, all right. Well, it was good hearing from you, Stacy. Oh, you got one more thing?
I was going to say one last thing, just for me too, just real quick. At the end of the first round with our 24 pick, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of mock drafts with us taking like that safety from Toledo, or even like a cornerback. And for me, again, I just think that those are great players. Don't get me wrong, but we just have needs in other areas that like. We could wait for like a Genesis Smith, or we could wait for someone further back for
Bud
that
Clark
position. I don't think it. Yeah, Bud Clark. I don't think that we definitely need to address it, but I don't think that we need to pick that early on and waste those picks. In my opinion, it would be a waste, those picks on that position.
All I've heard from Browns fans the last 2 to 3 years is this defense is good enough that if we just had competent offensive play, the Browns could be competitive. And then we get to draft season, and I'm hearing Browns fans pounding the table for us to draft defensive players. And I'm like, all I've heard from you guys is that the defense is good enough to win games. We just need competent offense, and we have a chance to get offensive players, and you're pounding the table to take defensive players. We can't get out of our own way. I don't understand that thought process at all.
No, but I think I'm not pounding the table. This is not that kind of moment, but I do agree with Stacy. I don't be surprised if we get to 24 and they take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the safety out of Toledo. I've heard from several different insiders, these guys that do the draft stuff, that the Browns are high on the kid. They've spent a lot of time with him. You got Rutenberg, the new DC, who specializes in the secondary. He had Xavier Watts last year, has raved about him, which we should have him, but instead we have Dylan Gabriel. And so now we need a safety. I'm just saying, be prepared to be disappointed about not getting an offensive player at 24 if he's on the board.
If we pick him at 24, then we sure as hell better have picked a receiver at 6.
And the thing is, like, I like him. I think he's a good player. I wouldn't hate having him on the team. It just goes to, what do we really need here? More. And this is deep.
If we get out of the first round with no receiver, I don't know what I'll do with this team.
If you guys thought the crash out in the draft last year was bad, I'll just get out of the first round without picking an offensive player or a wide receiver. Oh my!
There's going to be some broken technology on the set. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then last thing, Kenny and I think everybody might have seen it if you're in the Discord. We're going to be going to Nico's on day 2 of the draft. That's in North Royalton, so. People will show up there. We'll have a good night, at least be in misery together, if that's the case.
Well, there you go, guys. Hang out with us on the live stream on Thursday night, and then for night 2, go hang out with Kenny Mack and Stacy.
And Brad, I think's going, of course.
And Brad, and anybody else in the dog pack that decides to head up there and hang out with you guys. That would be a great opportunity for everybody to get together and, like you said, share in the misery, see what we do at 39.
Yep, more the merrier. Good talking to you guys.
All right, thanks, Stacy. All right, we got a few minutes left here, Blake. Let me hit you with these mock drafts and just get your blind reactions to them. So the first one was Todd McShay. So you said not a big fan of this trade back, and neither am I, but they were trading pick 6 to the Cowboys. We get back 12.92, which is the back end of the 3rd round, and then the Cowboys 2027 second round pick. And then at 12, we took Caden Proctor, 24, Casey Concepcion.
What are we... I don't understand. So I like Todd McShay. I think he knows his stuff. In what world does that make sense for the Browns? You get a top 10 pick out of us, and we don't even get a an extra first round pick back. Not even next year.
Right.
We don't even get your second round pick this year.
Well, they don't have one this year. That's why.
All the way to the 3rd round.
They don't have a second round pick this year to take. I think they have 2/3.
And I'm currently reading your lips right now because I just keep losing sound. But I think I can also tell that you're disgusted.
Am I back?
Just like I. Yes, you're back now.
Okay,
I don't know why it keeps going out.
I was saying the Cowboys do not have a second round pick this year, so that's why that's not in there. They have 2/3. I believe the other one is 85 and then 92. So I don't know why we wouldn't at least get the higher of it. But I guess the second round pick in next year, I understand the thought process there because you're gearing up to get as much ammo in the draft next year to move up in the first round wherever you need to get your quarterback. That's what everybody's thinking. I'm trying to get the best players I can right now.
Yeah, that's a terrible trade, and that makes no sense for the Cleveland Browns.
No, and 92 honestly is right where Andrew Berry decides to just. I said this the other day, flush his picks down the toilet. At 94, Dylan Gabriel. 85, Zach Zinter. 98, Siaki Ika. 99, David Bell. 91, Anthony Schwartz. 88, Jordan Elliott. And 97, Jacob Phillips. I don't need another pick in the 90s for Andrew Berry. He's just going to shit on it. So I don't need it. So let's move into this Mel Kiper Jr. mock. You probably like this one better. So we give up 6 and 39 and get 12 and 20.
That's one I could deal with a little bit more. The only thing that scares me is, like we talked about, who knows how many of these wide receivers are going to be gone by 12.
Right. So in this one at 12, then he mocks Caden Proctor again. So that's the second Caden Proctor at 12. We get Denzel Boston at 20. So he's still on the board. We get up in front of the Steelers at 21, take Denzel Boston. And then at 24, he's got us taking Jermod McCoy, the cornerback out of Tennessee, which I've been reading some teams, I don't know if this is confirmed, but some teams believe he has a degenerative knee issue. He coming off that ACL tear last year. So I think that was an interesting pick for us at 24.
So the trade's better, but I don't like, outside of Boston, don't like the picks.
Me either.
We already have basically we have a Caden Proctor on our team. His name's DeJuan Jones.
Yeah, with you.
So, yeah, just... I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but just go get offensive players that can catch the ball and score touchdowns. And I know we need the offensive line, but the depth of the offensive line is better. Well, it's not as high end. I feel like the tackles don't need to be taking in the top 10. Then there's also more of them that you can wait to get them in the late first or second round than there is skill position players, especially wide receivers. Just get me wide receivers. Take 2.
Yeah.
If you can just stay at 6 and 24, just take 2. Just take the 2 best wide receivers that are available. That's what we need. We need Jerry Jeudy to not need to be on our team. That's how the Browns get better.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. And, I was talking to Brian Bosars the other night, and, obviously we look at the offensive line and say, well, they don't have a locked-in left tackle. We could use, everyone's about the tackle. But if you do what you said and take 2 wide receivers and you don't address tackle in the first round, why are we having to force a tackle onto our roster? In the second round, there are some very good interior offensive linemen that would be good starters on this team for years and years to come, I'm sure. So would it be better to get a good long-term starter at guard this year than try to force a tackle? In my opinion, probably. Okay, well then let's just kick it last this Dane Brugler mock, and he did the entire draft. He went all 7 rounds, all 32 teams. And what we came away with, first of all, was another trade back. So trading again with the Cowboys, 6 and 39, and we get 12-20. But in his mock, we get their 2027 4th round pick. So we get a little extra on top of the 2 firsts. And then we come away with 12, Spencer Fano, offensive tackle from Utah. 20, Casey Concepcion, the Texas A&M wide receiver. At 24, he has us taking Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, the safety from Toledo, who we just talked about. 70, the Browns go defense again. Derek Moore, the edge out of Michigan. 107 is Markel Bell, the offensive tackle out of Miami. 146, Will Kacmarek, the tight end from Ohio State, who Brian Bosars did say Will Kacmarek projects to be like a decent, tight end in the league for a decade. Like he's going to make rosters. Anyway, then back to 149, Jaden Kennedy, the cornerback out of Oregon. 206, David Gusta, defensive tackle from Kentucky. And 248 was Carson Sherrar, linebacker out of Iowa. Now the 206 and 248 picks, I hate even mocking those because I feel like those are going to be used as ammo to move up. Blake seems to have lost the audio yet again. So we're just going to wrap this thing up for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Another Dog Pack Discord Live. Blake, why don't you just jump on out of here? Discord has been a POS today for us. But I appreciate everybody coming in here, hanging out with us last minute, Thursday morning. Just threw this one out there for you guys, but it's the only time we could really get ourselves together based on our schedules. If you guys want to be part of these Dog Pack Discord Live episodes in the future, head to jointhedogs.com. You could to sync up with the Discord, hang out with all these fine people, these diehard Browns fans that you see here, plus everybody else who couldn't make it today is in the Discord, chatting it up 24/7, having a great time. And remember, fantasy football signups will start June 1st. So get a head start on that. Hang out in the community. It's a great time, great place to be. Appreciate you guys tuning in once again, and I will see you guys. I've got a mock draft, my final mock draft 7.0 coming out. I don't know if that'll be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, one of those days. And then that's it, guys. We're rolling into Thursday night live stream. We'll be there with you guys the entire time in the first round on April 23rd, starting at 7:45, going to the end of the night. So come hang out in the chat with us. We'll see you guys there. So thanks again, and let's go Brownies.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at The Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.